Okay, so get those oxygen tanks ready because
Yeah.
today we are going deep, deep into the world of rescue divers. And wow, this RoleCatcher career guide you sent over. Seriously impressive stuff. Sounds like someone's thinking about trading their desk job for a wetsuit.
Yeah, it's definitely not your typical 9 to 5. What gets me is how different the public perception of rescue diving is from the reality. It's not all dolphins and pristine waters.
Speaking of dolphins,
Yeah,
yeah, the guide didn't really mention those. So what does a rescue diver do on a daily basis?
think of it more like a highly specialized emergency responder. I mean, one day they could be searching for a missing person in a murky river, and then the next they're inspecting an underwater pipeline on an oil rig. The locations themselves can be surprisingly normal, like local quarries, reservoirs, even public pools. Remember that drain they warned you about as a kid?
Oh, yeah. Don't want to get sucked in.
Well, somebody's got to make sure those are safe, right?
I never thought about that. So it's not the glamorous image we often see. The Rollcatcher Guide did mention all kinds of places rescue divers work, though. Public safety, the military research, even recreational diving. Talk about diverse workplace.
And with that diversity comes some serious demands. The guide's really clear about this. You need to be in top physical condition. And we're not just talking about being a strong swimmer. This is like Olympic level lung capacity for extended dives. Plus, the strength to handle strong currents and enough stamina to use heavy equipment underwater.
Yeah, wow. It's got to be more than just physical strength, though, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the mental aspect of diving in those, let's be honest, often extreme conditions, potentially dealing with life or death situations, that's got to be really heavy.
Absolutely. The RoleCatcher Guide actually uses the term mental resilience, and it stresses the importance of stress management techniques like mindfulness and breath work. These divers are more than just athletes. They're highly trained professionals making crucial decisions under intense pressure. Imagine you're 100 feet underwater, practically zero visibility, and you have to make a split-second decision that could save someone's life.
Wow, I can't even imagine that kind of pressure. So how do you even begin to learn the skills and get the experience to be that calm under pressure? What's a typical career path look like?
Well, it's like they say, every hero's journey starts with a single step, or in this case, maybe a single breath underwater. The RoleCatcher Guide lays it all out, starting with entry-level dive master and then moving up to specialized rescue diver.
Okay, so let's picture it. You're a brand new diver, you've got your certifications, you're ready to dive in, literally. What's the first step on that underwater career ladder?
You'd probably start by assisting more experienced divers in controlled settings. Think like training pools or pretty calm open water, learning the ropes, practicing those rescue techniques, getting comfortable with all the equipment.
It's like an apprenticeship, but your workshop is the ocean.
Hmm.
The guide mentioned a lot of different certifications.
Mm.
What are some of the big ones that aspiring rescue divers need?
Being a strong swimmer isn't enough. We're talking serious certifications here, like the PADI Rescue Diver and the ANDI Rescue Diver. These programs really put you through your paces. Underwater navigation, search patterns, handling diving emergencies, even giving first aid in some really difficult situations.
So it's like being an underwater EMT. The guide mentioned specific first aid certifications too, like CPR and oxygen administration.
What about the gear? I bet it's high tech, like something out of a movie.
You're not wrong. As you move up in your career, the tools get more and more advanced. You know about those remotely operated vehicles, ROVs, the underwater drones. Yeah, those are cool. Tell me more about them.
Okay, so imagine this. You need to explore a shipwreck, but it's too risky for a human diver. So you send in an ROV. It's basically a robot connected by a tether, and it's got cameras, lights, sometimes even robotic arms. So it's like your eyes and hands down in the deep.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like having a tiny robotic explorer doing your bidding. That's incredible. What other tech is changing the game for rescue divers? The guide mentioned advancements in underwater communication and imaging.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Forget about basic hand signals. These days, rescue divers might have those full face masks with communication systems built right in so they can talk to each other and even to the surface team in real time. And the cameras. No more blurry underwater footage. I'm talking high-definition video, sonar to map the seafloor, even thermal imaging that can pick up heat signatures in total darkness. It's amazing.
It sounds as technology is making diving safer and more efficient, which is incredible. But I'm guessing there's still risks and challenges that come with the job. The guide talked about how demanding this line of work can be emotionally, dealing with those life or death situations, never knowing what you might find down there. How do rescue divers manage all that pressure?
That's where that mental resilience we talked about comes in. It's not just physical, it's being emotionally aware, knowing yourself, and knowing how to decompress and process those really intense experiences. A lot of experienced divers talk about how important peer support is, being able to talk openly and honestly. Some even rely on professional counseling to help them deal with the mental demands of the job. It's really important.
It's inspiring, really, facing those challenges head on like that. But let's address the shark in the room. What about the risks? The RoleCatcher guide is pretty upfront about the dangers of this career path.
Right, of course. Rescue diving is not a walk in the park. It demands a lot, both physically and mentally. And yeah, there are inherent risks. Equipment could malfunction, you've got decompression sickness, and then there's the risk of encountering dangerous marine life.
Those are serious risks. So for someone who's thinking about taking the plunge, so to speak, what are the biggest pros and cons they should consider? What makes this job worth those risks?
Yeah, it's a tough balance for sure. I mean, on the one hand, you do have those risks and challenges we talked about. It's physically demanding, it can be dangerous, and there's that emotional toll. But then on the other hand, you have those incredibly rewarding moments. The adrenaline when you pull off a successful rescue, the friendships you forge with your team, and that feeling of knowing you make a real difference in people's lives.
Yeah, it really fits that hero's journey idea, doesn't it? Overcoming those fears and challenges to achieve something truly meaningful. The guide mentioned how much purpose these divers feel.
Oh, absolutely. A lot of them say it's not just a job, it's like a calling. They're drawn to the challenge, the adventure, the chance to use their skills to help people in need.
And for those folks who feel that calling, who are ready to take the plunge, RoleCatcher seems like an amazing resource. I'm really interested in those customized resumes and the AI interview prep tools. It's like having a digital dive buddy to guide you through the whole job search.
Ah, that's a great way to put it. You're not just sending out random applications anymore and hoping for the best. With RoleCatcher, you can really fine-tune your message, highlight your skills, and actually connect with the right opportunities.
So how does it actually work? Let's say I'm an aspiring rescue diver, I've got all my certifications, and I'm ready to find my dream job. What do I do?
Okay, well, you'd start by creating a profile on RoleCatcher, putting in your experience, your qualifications, your career goals, all that. Then the platform uses AI to go through your profile and pick out those keywords and skills that employers are really looking for. It's like having your own personal branding expert who speaks recruiter fluently.
So it's not just about listing what you've done, it's about presenting it in a way that really grabs those potential employers.
Exactly. RoleCatcher helps you tweak your resume and cover letter for each job, so you always put your best foot forward. It even gives you feedback and points out things you can improve, which is really helpful.
That is super helpful. But what about those interviews? They can be nerve-wracking. The guide mentioned that RoleCatcher has tons of practice questions. How did that part work?
Okay, so picture this. You've got an interview for a rescue diver position. You log on to RoleCatcher, you pick that specific job title, and bam, you get a bunch of common interview questions that are tailored to that exact field. You can even do a mock interview with a virtual interviewer that uses AI to give you feedback on your answers.
That's amazing. It's like having a personal interview coach right there on your phone. No more stumbling through generic answers or getting thrown off by surprise questions.
That's the idea. RoleCatcher gives you the confidence and skills to really nail that interview and land that job you've been dreaming of.
It's really incredible how technology is changing things, not just for how rescue divers work underwater, but also for how they manage their careers out of the water.
Totally. It shows how powerful innovation can be and how important it is to keep up with the changing world of work.
Well said. We've gone deep today. We explored the world of rescue divers, all the challenges, the unique skills, and even the high-tech tools they use, both underwater and in their careers.
It's been a really interesting look at an amazing profession, one that shows real courage, resilience, and an amazing commitment to helping others.
Absolutely. And for anyone listening who feels that pull toward adventure, who wants to make a real difference in the world, remember, even a journey of 1,000 nautical miles starts with just one step. Maybe it's signing up for a diving class, or updating your RoleCatcher profile, or even just starting to dream a little bigger. The possibilities are endless.
Yeah, keep exploring those passions, never doubt yourself, and see what amazing things you can do.
Could have said it better myself. Keep those adventurous spirits high, and we'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.